Knicks blew a 27-point lead. What's poppin', folks? Ladies and gentlemen, 27-point lead, blew. I know. The tank crowd is tanking us, tanking the Knicks very much, if you get it. But I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. You got a 27-point lead. I don't care, man. Win. That's all. That's what I'm about. I don't care. I don't care. 27-point lead. It's embarrassing. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. It's all of the above. All of the above. 27-point lead. Blew it. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. You know, the only thing I can say.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man.
That's all I can say.
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back.
How?
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
How? It's ridiculous, man. We're not on the call yet, bro. We're not on the calls yet. We're going to get to the call soon, but we're not on it yet. You know what I'm saying? You know, we still, you know, we still talking this a little bit. I'm kind of at a loss for words, to tell you the truth, man. You know, it's quite ridiculous.
How, Sway?
It's quite ridiculous.
How, Sway?
How do you do that?
Sway.
I just don't get it. But it is what it is, man. Let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do a quick recap. Real quick recap of the game. Because I want to get into Hardaway. I really want to talk about Hardaway. Emmanuel, you say you want to talk about Hardaway. I want to talk about Hardaway too. I want to talk about him too. But I just want to go ahead and recap the game. The Knicks deserve to be embarrassed. So I'm going to recap the game. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it. We lost 118-113. Scored 39 points in the first quarter. 33 points in the second quarter. Reputable. Right? That's decent. It's okay. What we have? 22-point lead at halftime or whatever it was. Scored 15 points in the third quarter. Outscored by 24 points in the third quarter. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Timmy couldn't reach 40. Ain't that crazy? Couldn't reach 40. Scroll down. 27-point lead. You see this here. We see it there. We all see it there. And I hope the Knicks have dreams about it tonight. Hope they have nightmares about it tonight. Really, for real. Hope they have nightmares about it tonight. It's crazy. The biggest lead for the Wizards is an 8-point lead in the second half. We let the Wizards shoot 54.5% from the field. They shot 31.8% from three. I mean, it's not horrible against us. We shot 46.4% from the field. We shot 47% from three. We made 9 3-pointers. We still lost the game. Terrible, terrible defense. Gave up 118 points to a team without their best player. We got out-rebounded 45-42. They had more assists than us, 31 assists to 21 assists. They had 7 steals. They had 9 blocks. They had 11 turnovers. We had 10 turnovers. We took care of the ball. Not bad. 1 block. I guess that's to be expected when you lose your the number 1 shot blocker in the league. You're not going to get as many blocks. But it's crazy, man. you know, some people are going to say, that's cool. That's the best way to lose, right? You know, make it exciting and then lose. Man, that's bullcrap to me. You got a 27-point lead, win the game. I don't care. I don't care. 27-point lead, man, win it. You know what I'm saying? You can lose the next one if that's what it is. You know what I mean? 27-point lead, you gotta get it. You know, it's just uncalled for. I hope that Jeff is lighting into him, but I'm not sure. Nah, JJP, it's not. This ain't Hornacek's fault. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Because I'm disappointed that Frank Ntilikina only got 10 minutes in the game. You know, I don't see any cause for that. You know, in the first half, maybe a couple of times he looked rattled a little bit. A couple of times, you know, a little shaky with the ball. But for the most part, he played a decent game. Well, was playing a decent game, but he only got 10 minutes. 5 points, 1 assist, 2 steals. He only had 1 turnover. You know, only played him 10 minutes. French Unicorn, peace out, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate the super chat. You say, you give a shout out to Body Knicks, Ishmael Hernandez, Tony Crow, and Who's Mark. You say this was a perfect reflection of who we are as a team. I agree with you. Oh, I'm sorry, you said this is a perfect reflection of the coaching staff. But also it's a reflection of who we are as a team. You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy and it's frustrating. You know, some people is going to be happy about it because we lost. You know what I mean? Thank you very much, right? But it's hard for me to be happy over a loss. The only thing, I could be happy over a loss if we played hard and, you know, it was a competitive game. Now, it was a competitive game, but it shouldn't have been a competitive game because we had a 27-point lead. It should have been a easy game for us. We expected them to make a run. But it should have been a game that you put away. Thanks, Cruz. I appreciate that. Should have been a game that you put away. You know, it is what it is, man. You know, this is the Knicks this season. Probably next season too. We'll see. But this is what we are right now. You know what I mean? Michael Beasley, 39. Oh, I'm sorry. Tim Hardaway Jr., 39 minutes, 37 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, 2 steals. -4 plus minus. How's that? Michael Beasley, 16 points, 8 for 24 from the field, didn't shoot too well. 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover. Enes Kanter, 24 points, 14 rebounds. Let me tell you something, man. Kanter has by far been our most consistent player. At one point, Courtney Lee was our most consistent player. Courtney Lee is, you know, clearly been up and down now and you know, kind of all over the place. Lost his way midway through this season. But now Kanter, you know, Kanter's been there all season, averaging a double-double. You know, the guy balls. He balls out. You know what I'm saying? I can't rave enough about him. 24 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. You know, I can't rave enough about Kanter. You know, I wish that his defense, he'd be able to pick up his defense a little bit more. But, you know, it's hard to complain. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to complain. Very hard to complain. Moutier, 20 minutes, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 turnovers. Lance Thomas, 8 points, 2 rebounds. Kylo Quinn, not many minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Frank Ntilikina, 10 minutes, 5 points, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 turnover. Everybody else, goose eggs. Goose eggs. All young guys. All young guys that should be playing a little bit. Getting some burn. Goose eggs. And I'm feeling bad for this guy right here. Trey Burke. Feeling bad for him. Feeling bad for Trey Burke, man. Yep. So this is what we in for the rest of the season, guys. You know what I mean? This is what we're in for the rest of the season, so you might as well get used to it. This is how we're going to play. Things like this are going to happen for the rest of the season. If we're doing it with young guys, then we do it with the young guys. Okay. So let's see what happens after the All-Star break. If Jeff is truly going to, just play the young guys. See what happens. Let's see if he sticks to his word. That's what he said. Well, that's what he insinuated. Let me say that. That's what he insinuated. So let's see if that happens. See if it's truly going to happen. Disappointing, though. Definitely a disappointing night. Besides any kind of tank stuff, you have a chance to have a good night. You got to take it, man. You got to take it. It's what it is. It's what it is. Hardaway. Let's talk about Hardaway a little bit. 32 points in the first half. Scores 5 points in the second half. This is the reason why Hardaway definitely can't be a first guy on the team. He's not a second guy. I'm not feeling like he's a second guy. Maybe a third guy. And probably, like we talked about the other day, a guy that comes off the bench. 32 points in the first half. 5 points in the second half.
How, Sway? How, Sway?
I'm not getting it. Come on, Tim Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? It's like he came out of his slump, and he came out of his slump hot. And then he fell right back into the slump. Not sure exactly what he shot in the second half. He was 12 for 14 in the first half, I think he was, something like that. So he was 2 for 10 in the second half. That's the bipolarness of Tim Hardaway. I'm not saying he's a bipolar guy. I'm talking about his basketball game. You know what I'm saying? That's the bipolarness of his basketball game. That's what Tim Hardaway is. That's what we should expect from him. You know what I'm saying? That's what we should expect from him. He's not a second guy. He's not a third guy. Maybe he's a third guy if he tightens it up a little bit. If he can tighten it up a little bit. But Hardaway is here. So much of it is mental for Tim Hardaway. I just don't think that he can be one of your top options, faithfully be one of your top options, because he's not strong enough mentally. He just isn't. Tim Hardaway is another John Starks. Maybe on the offensive side of the ball, he's another John Starks a little bit. Defensively, he doesn't play like John Starks did defensively. And John Starks had enough nastiness about him. You know what I'm saying? He was the kind of guy, you didn't want to come up against John Starks. He was, he had a little nastiness with him. He wasn't, Tim Hardaway is kind of pouty. He's kind of bratty, kind of pouty a little bit. He's that kind of guy. John Starks wasn't that kind of guy. He wasn't pouty or bratty like that. You know what I'm saying? John Starks was the kind of guy that was going to continue to fight, play defense, even if his shot was off. Now, when his shot was off, he was going to pull some wild stuff. We knew that about John Starks. You knew it coming into the game. If his shot was off, he'd shoot you out the game. But he never put his head down, and it never affected him on the defensive end. It never affected his hustle. With Tim Hardaway, it's a different story. If Tim Hardaway is not hitting, his head drops, his shoulders drop. You see the mug, the bratty mug on his face. And then he can't play the game anymore. You know, that's Tim Hardaway. And it's frustrating to watch. You know, it's definitely frustrating to watch when especially when you gave the guy $71 million. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, Siobhan Robinson, appreciate the super chat, man. You said, at least Frank can go to sleep knowing his spot is safe because Moutier is garbage. Woo. Wow. I mean, I'm not ready to say that. Not ready to say that yet. We got to see what's going on. We got to see what happens. You know what I mean? 2 games in a row, Moutier hasn't really played that well. But let's see what happens. A lot of times in that first game, I think we can chop that first game up to. He had 14 points, 10 assists in the first game. You know, he had that adrenaline flowing. He didn't know any plays. He didn't know what guys like to do, so he wasn't really thinking out there. He was just playing. This is what I was afraid was going to happen with Moutier as he started to learn the system a little bit, try to figure out what guys want to do. Now he's thinking on the floor a little bit more. You know, and he's thinking because he wants to try to find guys in their spots. He's trying to run the offense. So he's thinking instead of just playing. You know, and so I think that's part of, you know, what's going on with Moutier. Shamik Scheider, appreciate it, man. Thank you for the super chat. Much love to you, bro. But back to Hardaway. I really do like to get on Hardaway. I'm not going to front. You know what I'm saying? I like to get on Hardaway because they gave my man $71 million. I didn't think that he deserved to get $71 million when they gave him the contract. I just didn't think that. Listen, when Hardaway, I understood exactly why Phil Jackson traded Hardaway. And I wasn't upset when he traded Hardaway. I never felt that Tim Hardaway was never the kind of player that I liked. You know, I like guys that are a little bit more cerebral, but also athletic. You know, I like guys that can pick you apart, that knows how to take the right shots on the floor, knows how to make the right defensive rotations. I like guys like that, and I never saw that in Hardaway. But in the beginning of the season, around the beginning, right after the beginning of the season, he started the season slumping, and I was on him. And then he started to play a little bit. And I was like, whoa, okay, if this is what Tim Hardaway is going to do, I'm with it. I'm with it. But now he's back to it. And Ralph, I'm not blaming the game on Hardaway. I'm not blaming the game on Hardaway at all. I'm not blaming the game on anyone. My point about Hardaway is that Hardaway is not, what I'm saying about Hardaway is this game is a microcosm of his career, of who he is as a player. Let me say that. This game is a microcosm of Hardaway's game as a player, basketball player. You know, he's streaky, he can get hot, and he can light it up. We've seen it. But then he can get up in this thing here, and all that goes away. Somebody put a little bit of defense on him. Bradley Beal put that defense on him. Yeah, Shamik. Bradley Beal put that defense on him. And then all of a sudden he was gone. Where was he? You know what I'm saying? He couldn't handle it anymore. He got blocked 4 times in the second half. You know what I'm saying? Once Bradley Beal put it on him, that was it. And what Bradley Beal had tonight? You know, Bradley Beal ended up putting together a nice little game. You know, Bradley Beal, 36 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. You know, he ended up putting together a nice game against Hardaway. And what's that say to me? What that is Bradley Beal got torched in the first half. And then he said, this ain't happening. Watch this. Watch what I do to this man in the second half. And boom, shut him down. Shut him down. Not only did he shut him down, but the whole squad said, we got your back. We're going to shut him down too. Yeah, Thomas, Hardaway is fragile mentally. Yep. But the whole squad said, we're going to shut you down. And then Timmy couldn't respond. Hardaway couldn't respond because he got it in his own head. He got it in this up here. And he wasn't able to come back from it. Beal is mentally stronger than Tim. Yep, Ralph, you're right. He's mentally stronger than Tim, and that's the reason why Timmy got shut down in the second half. Listen, I didn't expect him to have 30 points in the second half. I didn't even expect him to have 20, honestly. I expected him to have about 10. 10 to 12, 13 points in the second half. That's what I thought Hardaway was going to do. You know, no one's going to continue to shoot at that clip for the most part, unless you're just in a crazy zone. No one's going to continue to shoot at that clip. It's not going to happen for most players. But this game signifies, and it shows you why Hardaway is not, cannot, and will not, in my opinion, be your second option, third option. I'm gonna say borderline third option. And what's crazy is though, and I gotta pull my own card. When Hardaway started playing really well, you know, whatever it was, 15 games into the season, 10, 15 games into the season, he started playing really well when he was going to the basket. I saw his game and I said, wow, if he continues to play like this, maybe he'll be an all-star one day. If he continues to play like this, that was the key word, if. He might not be able to continue to play. Well, he hasn't continued to play like that for the season. Now, I know he got hurt, you know, but there, you know, he can't continue to play like that. He doesn't have it. I just don't think he has it. You know, we'll see. Jason M, you say Tim Hardaway Jr. is the third option at best. You might be right, man. You definitely might be right. You know, Ralph, you said Tim might be our best option as the first man off the bench for instant offense. Yeah, he might be. He might be that kind of guy. And if he's that kind of guy, we're spending $71 million, $17 million a year for instant offense off the bench. You know, you got to put that on Steve Mills. That's Steve Mills doing. That's Steve Mills' boy too. He likes Tim Hardaway. That's his guy. You know, I mean, but at some point, if you can't trade Tim Hardaway, you know, I'm not saying to go out and look for a trade for him, you know, right now or this summer. You know, let's see what happens next year. You know, and if it gets to the point where you feel like you need to trade him and you can't trade him, then basically that's $17 million a year or $71 million is a sunk cost. Nothing you can do about it. And you can't say, well, we're paying him $71 million. We have to start him. No, whatever happens, if someone comes in that's better, it can't matter how much he's being paid. You got to put him in a role that's going to be best for the team. You know, and in the future, man, that role may be him coming off the bench. Very well could be him coming off the bench. We've got to see, you know, we haven't seen much of the Ntilikina Mudiay pairing since that first game. We've seen it maybe a little bit tonight, but not long. I don't understand why Jeff Hornacek hasn't tried it out a little bit more. Maybe we'll see it a little bit more after the All-Star break. But I don't know why he hasn't tried it out a little bit more. Trey Burke hasn't seen the floor. I guess we'll just have to see what he's doing after the All-Star break, you know. David Perez, you say, Jeff distributing the minutes without thinking about the future. What I'm hoping is that Jeff basically said, we've got a point in the season where we have a break. We're going to continue to do what we were doing until this break is over, and then we're going to go in another direction. So, you know, I'm not going to go crazy right now about Jarrett Jack playing the amount of minutes he played tonight, you know, because it could very well be that he said, hey, this is your last hurrah, and, you know, I'm gonna give you a chance to play this down the stretch. Jarrett Jack played 27 minutes tonight. You know, it could very well be he said, I'm going to give you this chance to play, and then we're going to go in a different direction after the break. So, you know, let's see what happens after the break. You know, let's give him that. Let's see what happens after the All-Star break. Now, if we come back after the All-Star break and he's got the same starting lineup, at least Jarrett Jack, if, you know, Jarrett Jack is in the starting lineup, then I guess then there's a problem. There's a real problem. You know, because this is the point where, you know, you got to play these young guys. You know. Rolling. Okay. You say it's part of tanking, that's why it's all Jack. So then you're saying to me, if he plays the young guys, we win. That's what you're saying to me? We play the young guys, we win? I mean, I'm like this. I'm not a tank person. But what I am is a realist. And what's real is right now, we are not in a position to make the playoffs. We're not going to make a playoff run. We're not a good enough team. So you play the young guys so that they can develop and learn. They can be put in situations. But while you're playing those young guys, you try to win with them. You try as best you can to win with the youth that's on the team, which means you prepare the correct way. You watch film. You put together schemes. You do those type of things. Now, odds are if you're playing young guys, you're not going to win. You know what I'm saying? But if you're saying to me, we need to play Jarrett Jack so we can continue to lose, then I think that premise is all wrong. Because the point of the season is to play the young guys and develop them. You know what I'm saying? Play Dotson. Play Frank. You know, play Cornet now that he's on the team. Even play Hicks, even though I'm not really sold on Hicks, but even play Hicks since he's on the team. You know what I mean? Not Jarrett Jack. Not Jarrett Jack. So let's see what happens at the end of this. Not even if you're saying, well, he's playing it so we can tank. You know, I mean, that's crazy to me. If that's what he's doing, that's crazy to me. I doubt that's what he's doing. You know, win or lose right now, win or lose, play the youth. Whatever happens, happens, but play the youth. You know what I'm saying? If we go on a 15-game winning streak, playing the youth, cool, play the youth. If we continue to lose 15 straight more games playing the youth, cool, play the youth. That's what I'm saying. Play the young guys, play the kids. Win 15 in a row, lose 15 in a row. Play the kids. That's what I'm saying right now. You know, I would like to see him come back after the All-Star break. You know, start Frank. If he's, you know, start Frank or Moutier with it, whatever he's gonna do, or start both of them together. Dotson, start Dotson. He probably won't because Tim Hardaway will probably pout. You know, and then you go with maybe Cornet and Cantor. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But play the kids. You know what I'm saying? You know, let them guys play. That's how I feel about it. Just let them play. You know, I don't care if Tim Hardaway's making $71 million a year. Put him on the bench, let him come off the bench. Let Damian Dotson get the burn. Let Damian Dotson get 30 minutes a game. You know what I mean? Let him get the 30 minutes. Tim Hardaway got, how many minutes was it again? Tim Hardaway was 39 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And Damian Dotson couldn't get a second. He couldn't get a lick of the hardwood. You know what I'm saying? He had to sit there with his warm-ups on and pass towels and water. Get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Get these guys some burn, get them on the floor. You know, let Timmy sit on the bench. You know, maybe he'll rethink. You know, maybe he can get his thoughts together a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Get his head into the game. You know, let these guys play. That's all I'm saying. Win or lose, live with the results. Like I seen somebody say, live with the results. That's right. Win or lose, live with the results, but let the young boys play. Let them get their burn. You know. Let them get their burn. Beasley 40 minutes. I mean, listen, these guys are going to play, right? We know that. They're going to play because, you know, you're talking about guys, really young guys. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, you got 6 really, really young guys. And then you got Tim Hardaway Jr. and Cantor, who are both 25. You know, so them guys can't play the whole game. The other guys are going to play anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're going to play anyway. But the majority of minutes should go to the young guys. And Space Ghost 64, you are exactly right. Sometimes you do learn better by watching. That goes for vets and that goes for young guys. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you learn a whole lot by watching. Just by seeing the game from a different perspective. But at some point, you know, Damian Dotson, them guys, they've been sitting for a long time. At some point, you got to test out what you've learned on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And if you're talking about Tim Hardaway, maybe he could learn a little bit more from the bench. He's came off the bench before. You know, would he accept that now that he's in this role? I don't know. You know, we'd have to see. I'd love to see what his reaction is. This is my fear, though, of putting Tim Hardaway on the bench right now for Dotson, which it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because Tim Hardaway's 25. He's considered part of the young group. It's not going to happen. But if he did, right, I think Tim Hardaway would go deeper in a hole. I think it would mess with his psyche like crazy. And I don't think he'd be able to handle it. Javon, you say Beasley is the small forward version of JaVale McGee. Imagine if Beasley was on that team with McGee and them guys down there with the Wizards back then. That would have been crazy. That would have been real crazy. It would have been crazier than it already was, and it was crazy then. Been real crazy. But Nick D, you say he should accept any role because he's paid. I agree with you. But I don't think his psyche would be able to handle it. Bless Roberts, you say Tim Hardaway Jr. can't handle coming off the bench because he thinks he's arrived now. I agree with you, Bless. I agree with you. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think Tim Hardaway feels that right now is his time. This is he's one of the leaders of the team. He's finally, one of the main focal points of a team. And if you put him on a bench, I think it's going to mess with his psyche even more. You know what I'm saying? It's going to mess with his psyche even more, and we'll lose him. We'll lose him for the rest of the season. That's what I think would happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think Jeff Hornacek and them guys know that. You can see it's very clear that Tim Hardaway is not, doesn't have I don't want to say it's a head case, but mentally he's weak. And I think Tim Hardaway and them guys see it. And I think they do understand if you put him back on the bench, it's going to mess with his psyche even more. So I don't think it goes that way. I don't think it happens. Yep. Don't think it happened. So I'm gonna open up the lines. I'm gonna open up the lines before we get to talk about KP a little bit. I'm gonna open up the lines, hear what you guys got to say. Talk a little bit about the game. Talk about Hardaway. Talk about some of these rotations that we want to see coming up after the All-Star break. So go ahead and give me a call. Call in. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit. John Davis. Oh. Okay. My man is on the line. Who's Mark? Mark, can you hear me, bro? All right. Hold on. You're not on live yet. Shamik. Big shout out, man. Thank you for the super chat. You say it's new to Tim Hardaway Jr. learning to be the second option. You're right. It's new. It's something new to him. And, we're going to have to see how he reacts next year, getting used to that role a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I just don't know if he got it. You know what I'm saying? But who's Mark, man? What's popping?
Yo, what's going on, yo? You know what, man? I'm going for Jared Jack now, man. Let's keep starting him so Jeff Hornacek can give himself a reason to get fired. I'm with Hornacek. I'm with Hornacek and Jared Jack. He's gonna ride with him to his privileges are going with this team.
Yeah. I mean, it might be, I don't know what Scott Perry's thinking. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say what Scott Perry is thinking right now. He has to be thinking about can Hornacek develop these players?
No, he can't.
Right?
Because he don't have the attitude that you need. He doesn't have it. Like you watch him he doesn't have it. It's just one of the things he just doesn't have. Like I'd rather Draymond Green on my team right now, yelling at the younger players compared to him.
Yeah.
Because he'll really get in your ass.
Yeah. I mean, Scott Perry. Hopefully, Scott Perry and Steve Mills are mulling over everything.
No, they're watching. His ass is gone. Him and Jared Jack, both of them, y'all gone. They're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
I mean, it's not. It's really not Jared Jack's fault.
It's not. But he should know, like, yo, coach, throw in the rookie, man. Why is Frank playing 10 minutes? What? Why? Because he could have been the one guarding Bradley Beal. Beal cooked Timmy.
Yeah, I mean, I have no answer for that. But Jared Jack's not going to go and say to Hornacek, hey, play the young guy, because he's playing for a contract too.
Yo, what's another thing?
He's playing for a contract too.
Stop playing O'Quinn now, please. I'm tired of seeing him now because he can't jump. Just play who's athletic on the floor, please. Like, cause it's like you wasting talent. Why is Dotson not playing instead of Thomas? He's more athletic, faster, and can play defense and can shoot the ball. Lance Thomas is a liability on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea why Dotson isn't playing.
Like, why is he not playing? Like, literally, why is Dotson not playing?
He played 9 players tonight. 9 players.
This ain't the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you doing?
When you play 9 players, that means
that's playoff rotation.
Yeah. When you play 9 players, that means that you're trying to win. I understand trying to win, but you're trying to make the playoffs. You're playing with, you got your so-called playoff lineup or whatever it is.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to play 9 players, play Frank, play Trey, play Damian Dotson, play Luke Cornett. I'm still up in the air about Hicks. Play Moutier.
I don't like Hicks.
Right.
Play
Tim Hardaway. Play Cantor. Play them guys. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, like with Tim, he shot us in the game and shot us our asses out. But one thing about him, it's like with Michael Beasley. You can't give those players too much responsibility, because when they get that much responsibility, you see that it messes with their game on the floor because they know they have to do something, because we're missing the void.
Yeah.
So you can't give them that much responsibility. You can't give Tim. Tim plays good off the less responsibility you give to him. That's why he was good for Atlanta.
Right.
Because they didn't really rely on him. You can't rely on him because he's headstrong and he's not thinking on the floor. It's just like he feel like he has to shoot every shot. When you watch him, he's so timid on the floor.
Right. And you see in that first half, right, he pulled, he started pulling. He heard the crowd egging him on, right? And he pulled some wild, he pulled a couple of wild shots. You know what I'm saying?
It's just it's one of them shits where it's just like, okay, when are you gonna stop shooting?
Right.
When are you gonna stop shooting?
Right.
And they don't run him off. You know what they don't do for him that he did well in Atlanta? They don't run him off screens a lot. That's what he's good at. Stop keeping him on the top. He has to run through screens and picks, man.
Yeah, you're right about that. But see, we're not good screeners. We don't set good screens
we're not.
or good picks.
When you watch Cantor, I said, yo, he's damn near 7 feet, and he cannot set. He's strong, and he can't set a screen.
Yeah.
Nobody on his team set a screen. No one. Stephen Curry set better screens than everybody on his team. That's what makes Stephen Curry so good.
And those are things that the coaches should work on, though.
Yeah,
the coaches should be working on those things.
He don't make no adjustments. It's the same freaking plays every time. I'm sitting watching my television. Can you do something a little tad different?
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the season, I don't know what they don't have any time to really practice anything.
Oh no, they don't have any time. But you know what? His time is up. Time is up.
But simple things like setting screens. I don't care if you're an NBA coach, if you're playing in the NBA. These guys, you still got to sharpen up your fundamentals. They should be going over those things. You know what I'm saying? They should be working on setting good screens. Even if you say, well, this guy's in the NBA, he's not. He should already know how to set screens. I don't care if they don't know how to set screens. You got to teach it.
Yeah, you do, and they're not little guys. Tell them to hit it hard. That's why they don't get open shots. That's why they don't get open shot off the screens that they supposed to be set.
Yeah. Because
no one hits.
Right.
And that's why defenses like. Do y'all ever realize when y'all watching other opposing teams that their defense is set every trip?
Yeah.
Do you know why Golden State's so good? Because the point guard sets screens. A lot of these point guards in the league do not set screens. Kevin Durant don't set screens. Stephen Curry sets as a guard for a little guy. He sets. That's why Clay get open because he sets wonderful screens. He hit them hard.
I hear you. And we got guys. That just.
There's no way we have guys at 6'5" that cannot set a screen. Are you kidding me? We got guys
that just don't know what to do. Like in the first.
That's
half,
what it looks like when we're on the court.
In the first half. Moutier passed the ball to Kyle O'Quinn, I think it was. He went down to the corner to set a screen to Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway should have came off the screen, right? Tim Hardaway stood there. Emmanuel Moutier is standing there looking at him, setting the screen, and Tim Hardaway stood there in the corner instead of coming off the screen. I was like, what are you doing? Come off the screen. That is so
frustrating to watch. I'm sitting here laughing at my television. Like, okay, same plays. That's why Wizards got back into it. I said to myself, watch the Wizards get back into this. You think this game over? Nope, because this is regular Knicks shit. Because they get high, and then what Jeff don't do when we're up, when they do something bad, you call that timeout and you get in their ass. He don't get in their ass. Right. He calls timeout, smirk, and it's like, okay, guys, go back and run the same plays with no adjustments. Nothing. Right.
Hey, David Perez, you're right. Hey, Mark, we got some people trying to call in. I'm gonna let you
All
go,
right, man.
bro.
Shout out to the Tank Life. We 7 games down.
We deep into it, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. Peace out, bro.
All right, yo.
Yeah, I seen David Perez. I seen you said not knowing the players or where to be on the floor. That's coaching. I agree with you. I gotta agree with you. That's coaching. You know what I'm saying? When you don't know those type of things, that's coaching. It's either coaching or stubbornness from the players. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been running the same thing all year. So when Moutier went down to set that screen, it was pretty clear that he needed to come off that screen. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's just basic basketball. you know, as a basketball player, if someone is setting an off the ball screen for you, you take that screen. You know what I'm saying? Or else you're gonna clutter things up. You know what I'm saying? You take that screen, or else you're gonna clutter some things up. And Hardaway didn't take the screen. I don't know why. He stood there and looked at him. And they both stood there in the corner and looked stupid. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. Isaiah, what's popping, bro? Got you on the line.
What's going on, man? Shout out to the chat. Blackest time. You already know.
For sure, man. Big shout out to you.
What's going on? Well, man, what disappoints me most about this loss, man, is the simple fact that this is our fourth time blowing a 20-point plus lead. Yeah. And they did a stat. They did the whole league compared to the Knicks. And the Knicks are beating the whole league and giving up 20-point plus leads. And that's honestly, man, that's on the players and the coaches, because it's just confused. It's just crazy how you can't in this league, man. If you got 20-point plus points, that game's supposed to be over, man. It's supposed to be over. They like Clyde always says, they don't want to play. You force them to want to play. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know what's going to change. I mean, it's annoying to the fact that I see other coaches. I remember a game where the Knicks were getting blown out, but they scored a quick 5 points. They were like blown out by like 25, and they scored quick 5 points. I remember the coach called a timeout, got in the other team's ass, and then they went back up. And I'm waiting for Jeff to do it, and Jeff never does it. Right. It's to a point where they cut the lead, and it's like, okay, Jeff, when you gonna call a timeout? Right. He calls a timeout. When they cut the lead down to 5 points, 3 points, and it's like, why didn't you do that before? Right. And I think this is like the fourth game this year where the Knicks were up 20-something points and lost. They did it tonight. They did it versus Cleveland, Houston, and there's one other game. I don't remember what it is. It was Detroit. That was the first game.
It was Detroit, exactly. Detroit was the first one. Up 20-something points and then lost the game. That's ridiculous.
It's crazy. Listen, man, if it's not the Houston Rockets or Golden State Warriors, there's no reason why you should give up 20 points to anybody else in this league. Right. If it's not Golden State or Houston, then you should not give up 20 points. I'm sorry. There's no team that should be capable of coming back from 20 points.
Now, to Jeff Hornacek credit, I'll say this. He is right that, the league has changed so much, with teams shooting so many 3-point shots. A 20-point lead, is not as safe as it used to be. But still, if you have a 20-point lead, you got a nice cushion.
That's true. And then
you got a nice cushion.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. And you know what I do? So I'll give Jeff this. I'm gonna go what you said. I think the reason why he played all the veterans tonight was the simple fact was, okay, we all know what's gonna happen, and he probably out of respect said, "Hey guys, go try to win this game. This is the last time you're gonna get long minutes this season. Go out there, play." That makes sense to me, because I know Jeff's not stupid. He can't be stupid. He went to college. He can't. He shouldn't. He shouldn't be stupid.
Not stupid. You never know.
Yeah, you're right. Hopefully, but I do believe that he played them for their last go around, so that when the All-Star break, the young guys are gonna play. That's what I hope. I hope that was it.
Right. I hope that's what needs to happen. And I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Scott Perry and them guys, I think they probably talked about it with him, and it's like, okay, after the All-Star break, this is what's this is what we need to do. And I think they just kind of, it's kind of a natural transition, right? You play into the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, you get a chance to practice a little bit, see what lineups you want to put out there on the floor. So it's kind of a natural transition. You know, that's why I'm not going crazy until we see what happens after the All-Star break.
Because I listen, man. If I see, listen, I think, like I said before, I think it's not going to be Jerry Jack's fault. But I think all Knicks fans are going to lose their mind next week if we see Jerry Jack play 20 plus minutes. We're going to lose our. We're all going to lose our mind.
Right. You're
and
right.
it's like. I mean, again, I don't know what they're going to do after this year. I hope Jeff's gone. I really do, because I don't. We all see it. We don't think he's the coach, but if he wants to save his job, if he wants to even have a chance to save his job, he has to play the young guys. That's all there is to it.
Got to.
He has to, if he wants to save his job. If he wants to, he doesn't have to. He doesn't want to coach us, but he has.
Yeah, and honestly, hey Isaiah, I'm gonna let you go. All right.
Okay.
Clock is up. We got some people.
Right,
thanks for the call, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace out, man. And yeah, he has to play the young guys. If it'll help him. If he continues to play the older guys like he's trying to win, and you lose, that speaks more to his lack of coaching than if he plays the young guys and lets the young guys lose. And then at least he could say, but we had the young guys out there, right? Now I seen someone say that, you know, they think Jeff is still trying to win because he's playing the vets. I don't know. We'll see. You know, we'll see how that goes. My man, Rasley, what's going on, bro? You're on.
All right, well, appreciate it. I just want to say hello to everyone on the chat. And I just wanted to say a few things. You know, I feel like we're slicing and dicing too much in this game because there's nothing to it. You don't blow up a 27-point game and then try to, you know, explain how we did it.
Yeah, say that over, Rasley, because someone tried to call in and it covered up your voice.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'm saying, like, we're just slicing and dicing too much for this game. You know, there's nothing to it. You lost a 27-point lead. You can't talk about this. This is just it's just horrible, you know.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. I like to, you know, focus on different elements and like I like to think long term. Like we want to be a championship team. Like we want to win a championship team. You know.
Right.
And what do we do for that? I mean, I think there's a few things that we already figured it out. Before I say anything, I like to just mention this once and for all. Every time I refer to a player, I mean their play, not themselves. So I have nothing against them. I don't want to be held accountable. You know, we love them all, and we're just talking about their game. So having said that, I like to say, what do we know so far, like about the Knicks, about the players and coaches? I can say a few things. I think this coaching staff is most definitely is not a championship, you know, coach. They gotta go. That's for sure. And I'm not saying this because how they're, you know, like, you know, I've seen some of the things that were they trying to really win and they just make bad decisions and they just can't produce, period.
Right.
I don't know. I like to know what you all think about that. But that's what I see. They got to go. Second and important thing is, let me see. I put a little note up here. The players, right? So let's talk about Hardaway Jr. I think tonight is another night that this guy, he proved clear as a whistle to me. He was having best game of his life, first half. Right. You know what I was saying the whole time for the coach? Take him off the game. If you miss one shot and another shot, two shots in a row, get him off the game. Why? Because we already know he's got to go. He cannot be a player or starting, you know, player on a championship team. He cannot. Why are we holding him? Make him look good because it looks really good when he's scoring like first half. Right. I'm watching the game from a, you know, FA channel in Washington. And guess what? People are like so amazed for what he's doing. But I'm thinking they have no idea what's coming in the second half.
Right.
You know, I'm thinking, get him off the court. And I know there are other teams, they'll pay him all that money. I think we have to play smart. You say, you know what, this guy, he just shoots sporadically. You know, he's not consistent. We all know that, but not everyone really knows that. When they see him shooting the ball, they say, you know, he's good. They'll pay the money and we'll get rid of him and get somebody consistent. One thing in life, in my opinion, it counts the most is consistency, predictability. When you can't predict anything, you can't build anything. Do you see what I'm saying? Like even at the market, stock markets, if it's going crazy up, crazy down, how are you going to play in there? How are you going to, you know, do anything? You can't. I mean, you need predictability. Then you know all of your, you know, tools. You can start, you know, mix and match and try to win games because you know what to expect. Having said that, I think Hardaway Jr. gotta go, and they have to play smart. They have to play him in a game when he's playing really good, you know, showcase him, and then get him off the game. You know, not letting him go. Get him out of there, so we can actually, you know, get a good trade, because we know we need it looking up long term. We're looking for KP to come back, and we need to start focusing. How is the team is going to be, you know, looking? We need to make this team look like everything is perfectly moving. And the last piece will be KP. When he comes back, you put him in the game, and boom, now everyone is afraid of us. But that's not, you know, people are working right now. I don't know what the management is thinking. So that's how I think for the Hardaway Jr. Moutier and Nilly, you know, even though I know they're not a pit bull, we talked about this before, but, you know, I agree with you. These two kids are going to be exceptional. We can definitely keep him and shine him like a, you know, a shoe. And when it comes to trading or doing anything, they're going to be worth tons. And it is time to showcase them and let them get some experience.
Let them get out there. And I think I want to go back to, and John, I mean Israeli.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep people to the timer as much as possible. The time is just about up, but I'm gonna answer your questions though. Especially I want to go back to the one talking about, you know, how we move forward into the future.
Yes.
Right? I think we have to start. We have to start with management, and I'm not talking about Scott Perry and Steve Mills. I'm not talking about moving them. I think we have to start with. So maybe I shouldn't say management, but well, I'm just gonna say management.
Yeah, no, I like that. Say that. Give it to them. They deserve it.
Yeah, I think that we need to start with. One, we got to get a salary cap guru. Hire a salary cap guru. Put some money into this management and executive team. Hire a salary cap guru, a guy that knows the cap in and out. That can tell you, if you do this now, this is how it's going to affect you later.
Yes, sir.
And can really look at what a guy's worth is.
Right.
Then we need scouts. Okay.
Exactly.
We got a good scout there in Gaines, right? Clarence Gaines. We need some more good scouts, right?
I agree.
We need guys that can go out there and beat the bushes, and find, you know, your second round draft picks, or guys who haven't been, you know, guys in the G League, guys who have not, you know, first year rookies, undrafted rookies. That's what I'm trying to say. Right. You know,
San Antonio. I mean, I don't even know half the people they play there. They're in the third place in the West. Come on, man.
Exactly. And
that tells you we can do this. You know, we just need the right people. There's something going on in the office. I don't know what they're doing up there.
Right. And so you got to find the scouts that can go out there and beat the bushes and find these guys. And then you got to invest in developmental coaches, really good developmental coaches.
Yes, sir.
Guys that are known for developing players. You know, we're talking about bringing in Pablo Prigioni, right? Hey, Israeli, I got another guy on the line. I'm going to answer this, all right? Okay. So, I got Tony Crow. Give me a minute. I'm going to finish answering this question, all right?
Take your time, bro.
Yeah. So, okay, so we got so yeah, we need coaches, we need developmental coaches. We're talking about bringing in you know, we're talking about bringing in Pablo Prigioni. I respect Pablo. You know what I'm saying? I definitely do. I respect him. And I think that I think that Pablo probably could be a good developmental coach. But I want to go bring in some guys who are proven. We don't have time to try to prove, to bring in someone that's not proven and try to develop a coach. We want to bring in developmental coaches that are proven if we want to develop players. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to throw money in places, throw it there. You know what I'm saying? Put it in, because those are the guys behind the scenes. Listen, your head coaches, let's be honest. Your head coaches, they're not doing the behind the scenes work with the players, right? It's your developmental coaches and your assistant coaches who are sitting there working with their shooting form, working with their footwork. Those are the guys doing the developmental work with the players, not your head coach. You know what I'm saying? Throw some money into your developmental players, your scouts, your management and executive team that's going to help you make decisions about where the team goes. Put some money in those places, and then get a coach who knows the X's and O's, and a coach that's strong, a coach that is a leader, a natural leader, a coach that is strong-headed, is not afraid to manage these guys, not afraid to manage egos, not afraid to be the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Get a coach that's not afraid to do those things, whether it's a big name or not. And then we'll be on the right track. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta put the money in the right places. You know what I'm saying? We gotta put the money in the right places. You know what I mean? Because if we don't put the money in the right places, we're just throwing money away. You know, throwing money away. You know what I'm saying? Put the money in the right places. Yeah, David, that's what the Spurs do. You know what I'm saying? They got Greg Pop locked down, so they know what Greg Pop is going to bring. Greg Pop he's a demanding coach. He don't care who you are. You're going to do it his way or no way. You know what I'm saying? They got scouts. They got a smart GM. I mean, they have a strong management and an executive team. That's what we need to do. That's where our money needs to go. You know what I'm saying? Tony Crow, what's popping, man?
What's going on? Yo, Blackest Time. Yo, chat, what up? Yeah, I'm feeling everything you was just saying. Definitely. I was just typing in on the chat. I miss Mike Woodson.
Yeah, man.
I think Mike Woodson would do wonders, at least for Tim Hardaway, considering how he had JR, and Tim Hardaway is not even like a problem child. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, Mike Woodson was one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? He was the kind of guy that the players is just going to respect. You know what I'm saying? He demands the respect. They was just going to respect him. You know what I mean? And you need that's what you need. That's what we need. Let me say that. Every team maybe doesn't need that kind of coach. Other teams can maybe get away with somebody else. That's what we need. This team right here, because
the other thing about him, he's not even the guy. Basically, he'd accepted a second hand defensive coach or assistant coach role. That's the other thing. Like, he don't even got an ego.
Right.
Like, I mean, I don't know if he'd come back to the Knicks per se, but but he's that type of guy.
Yeah, Mike Woodson is one of them. Yeah, he's that type of guy. He's that work ethic type of guy. I miss Mike Woodson, man. I like Mike Woodson for the team, and he'd be good, especially with these guys. With this group of guys here, he'd be perfect for this group. I think he'd be really good with this group.
Unfairly, as far as being let go.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. As far as like just the some of the things we need, I honestly think Mills needs. He's the last piece. Everything negative. You know what I mean? I know he probably has a good relationship with Dolan. That might be the only reason he's still here. But he don't do nothing for me as far as like he's always been around the turmoil.
Yeah,
all of it.
Yeah,
silent in the background. So I would let him go just off GP of that. Another thing I just want to touch up on real quick, Tim Hardaway Jr. I think you was a little harsh on him.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it was deserving, but his contract can still be earned. You know, like once Noah signed that contract, you know what I mean. You can't even put him in that same type of discussion, the type of things that I was hearing. He can still earn his contract. He has the time and he's producing. Even, I mean, he's in a horrible stretch, yes, prior to tonight, but prior to this stretch, he was having bad games and doing other things, rebounding, assisting. So, you know, he's capable of, he probably is a third best player at best, but right now we don't even have a first best player. You know?
I mean, my thing with Tim Hardaway is, I think he has the natural ability. He has the talent. And he has the natural ability, but this holds him back. His head holds him back. You know what I'm saying? And if he's going to be our third best player, if he ends up being our third best player, maybe $17 million a year is not too bad. If he ends up being our sixth man, I think $17 million might be a lot of money. You know, he might be a lot of money. As far as with Steve Mills, you know what I'm saying? Steve Mills, I don't think he's going nowhere. James Dolan likes to have a guy in there. You know what I'm saying? Like Steve Mills, that's James Dolan's guy. That's the guy that he's gonna go to get. He wants to know what's happening here, 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 and here. Give me the scoop. Give me the inside scoop. I don't want to call him the snitch, but that's what it sounds like.
Low key, he's Isaiah Thomas replacement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Basically,
that was. So I mean I understand that, but I mean I wouldn't even. I would prefer him throw Allen Houston in that position, because he can fill right in.
Yeah,
he's in that circle. You know what I mean?
He's in that circle too. You know what I'm saying? Allen Houston's kind of in that circle too. You know what I'm saying? He's been there forever, player. Now he's I don't even know what he is now. I guess he's the GM of the Westchester.
He's running the G League. He's running the G League.
Yeah, he's running Westchester, the GM of the Westchester Knicks. You know, so he's kind of falls in that situation too.
But I give him the least amount of flack, because just knowing the person he is, just as a human being, he has integrity. You know what I mean? Like, it's something snaky, shady with Mills. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if everybody see it like I do. You know what I mean? But it's definitely something shady with him.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I just think that's James Dolan's boy. That's what James Dolan goes to get the answers. Yeah. But while you on the line, yeah. You know, I'm gonna give you another minute or so. What I want to do is I want to bring up a little bit about KP's timeline, right? Because, you know, it came out the other day, you know, just talking about his timeline a little bit, and what we should expect now that his surgery was successful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so KP, you know, what it says here, it says his timeline is looking like his timeline is going to be about, what it say? Let me find it. In here, he had a successful surgery, 9 to 10 months. Okay, so
yeah, that's what I was talking.
Yeah, so we're talking 9 to 10 months for his timeline. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about what? You know, a year from now is around Christmas. Talking about around Christmas.
Yep.
What do we have to do between now and Christmas? What do we have to do? The key is going to have to be to make the team better for KP. I'm going to let you answer that right quick, and then I'm going to get on to another caller. What do you think we have to do while we're waiting for these 9 to 10 minutes?
I'm going to answer that as best as I can, but I'm going to backtrack a little bit. It's all going to intertwine. Another thing I had posted on the chat was KP had these same type of games a couple of times this year where it looked like he should have ended with 50 plus. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just to backtrack as far as like Tim Hardaway not being ready, KP proved also that he might not be number 1 guy ready yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but he's still 22.
For that in perspective, when we going at you know what I mean, going at.
I mean, but KP still got, you know, like Hardaway got 3 years on KP in the league.
He
definitely does. He got 3 years on KP in the league. You know what I mean? And when I look at Hardaway, like I see his body language,
his mannerisms,
and mannerisms and all that stuff, and that's what tells me. That's what tells me that the mental is not there.
I definitely give you that. But as far as what we need, I think a lot is gonna basically rely on this draft pick. I missed the last chat, but I seen you had Kendall. What's his name? Wendell.
Oh, Wendell Carter. Yeah, Wendell
Carter. Yeah, I like that dude. I actually think he might be better than Bigley or whoever his teammate is. From the few full games that I've watched.
Yeah.
I mean,
my only thing is that he's a 4. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he could bring the ball up and all that. Yeah. So I will say that.
My only thing is that he's a 4. You know, so then we got kind of a conflict because I don't think KP wants to go to the 5. Who knows after the surgery? Maybe he'll feel more comfortable at the 5, but hopefully he comes back stronger, bigger, better, and stronger after the surgery.
I was just gonna say that's what I'm really hoping is during this time he gains some weight and then is able to keep it on and build it into muscle.
Yeah,
that's like the best case scenario. Come back like 20-25 pounds heavier and just muscle.
Right.
And that'll do a lot for him. But it's gonna really rely on this draft pick. And even then, we still gonna be at least a year or 2 away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah. All right, Tony, I'm gonna let you rock, man.
No doubt, yo.
I know we got somebody else trying to get on the call. All right, bro. Peace out, bro. Yeah. So KP's timeline, we're talking about 10 months. You know what I'm saying? We got like 10 months for KP. And in between that time is when, you know, that's got to be Scott Perry and Steve Mills' time. While KP is getting stronger, hopefully getting better, Scott Perry, Steve Mills, they've got to strengthen the team. You know, and they've got a lot of work to do to strengthen the team. You know what I'm saying? A lot of work to do because right now, the team is, it's almost like there's no rhyme or reason out there. You know what I'm saying? I think they've got to figure out how they want to build around KP. This is the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how you want to build around KP. What kind of players you believe you need to put around him. Right? We got to figure those things out. Scott Perry's got to figure those things out. And then once you figure out your strategy on how you're going to build around KP, if that's what your plan is, if your plan is to build around KP, you've got to figure out who's going to do what. What kind of players do you need? Then look at our team and say, do we have those kind of players on our team? And if you have some of those players, then you know we got to keep this guy, keep this guy, keep this guy. The other guys are expendable. We got to move them and bring in the type of players that we want. You know what I'm saying? You've got to figure it out. You got to figure out how you're going to build around KP. If you believe that KP is the guy, if you believe that KP is your franchise player, then what pieces do you put around him? You say build through the draft. Yeah, build through the draft. Yeah. Do you build through the draft? That's not the only way to build. You know what I'm saying? I like drafting players, but the facts are, honestly, just because you draft someone at a high pick doesn't mean that they're going to be your franchise player, really. You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't know when you draft a player. You just don't know how their game, first, you don't know how their game is going to translate to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players, they translate to the NBA and they become the stars that they're supposed to be. You also have a number of players that their games translate for a little while, or their games never translate, or they have a game that can translate, but up here, they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I do agree that we've got to get young players. This is what I like about the draft. So I'm on board with you, BN. Don't think I'm not on board with you. I'm on board with you. But the draft isn't the only way. You know what I'm saying? The good thing, the positive thing about getting players from the draft is that you get young players that can hopefully come in and perform at a certain level, and then they have great value because you're paying them a low wage or a low salary, and they're giving you the value of someone who plays at a higher level. So building getting players through the draft that's definitely a way to go, but it can't be the only way. If you look at most of your teams in the NBA, 75% of their players are free agents. You know what I'm saying? So, it has to be a mix of building through the draft, developing players, scouting players, beating the bushes and grabbing players from different spots, free agency, managing the cap, making sure that your systems behind the scenes are strong. It has to be a mixture. So we got my man Thomas from the French Knicks podcast on. All right, Thomas, what's popping, man?
I'm good, and you, brother?
So what we're talking about right now, we're talking about KP, we're talking about his timeline.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
I heard what you said, and I think the same, like you said, and I want to put some other vision about the future, and I want your opinion to tell to the chat, and shout out to the chat.
Okay.
So my first question is this?
Hold on 1 second. Let me answer this right quick. I just want to answer. I'm sorry. Let me just answer this right quick. BN, you say, Sim, beating the bushes barely ever works. I disagree. With that because San Antonio, Golden State, them guys beat the bushes a lot. And they come up and all of a sudden they got players, they got players that, like, sometimes players we never even heard of just come out the woodwork. You know what I'm saying? But like, who is this? Where'd they come from? You know what I'm saying? Because they beat the bushes and they find players and then they bring them into their developmental programs and develop them. And then all of a sudden they're here in the league. You know what I'm saying? But it takes a multitude of things to find players and to bring players in. Not just the draft. I was looking at Philly. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about. They said, Philly, Philly, they tanked, and they got all these players. And I said, go look at Philly's drafts since 2011. Philadelphia had 10 first-round draft picks. 3 of those players play on the team. 3 of them. And they've had even more second-round draft picks. I didn't count to see how many of those players play on the team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you get players out the draft, but, Philly they've been tanking since 2011. is 2018. And 3 of those players that they tank for is on the squad. 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? That's why, I think it can't be all about the draft. You've got to bring in, you got to find a mix of players. And BN, you're right. San Antonio and them guys, they got drill sergeant for coaches. You said our coaches ain't close to Pop. You're exactly right. They're not. But that's why I'm saying, if you were hearing me, talk about how we've got to bring in developmental coaches and get the right executive group in there. That's what I'm talking about, development. We've got to develop that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to start doing. Especially when you're a team like us, you're not going to be able to. Let's put it like this. This is just me saying, right? Philadelphia got Ben Simmons. They got Joel Embiid. I don't even think Ben Simmons is going to be there when he becomes a free agent. I think he's going to L.A. I think he wants to be in L.A. I'm saying, if you ever get a chance to watch a documentary, it's on Showtime. Watch how he reacts when they talk about him going to L.A., when they talk about him going to Philly. I think Ben Simmons is gone. I think he's going to go to L.A. It's going to be him and Lonzo Ball, and it's going to be monstrous. And then Philly did all that tanking for what? You know what I'm saying? It takes more than that. That's all I'm saying. It takes more than that. You know what I'm saying? It takes more than that to build a team. And build not just a team, but a long-lasting team that's going to take you further. You're going to develop a culture that's going to take you, into the future. You know what I mean? You're probably right, BN. Probably starts with Mills. Like I said, Mills is Dolan's boy. That's his. I hate to call him a snitch, but that's probably his. That's his guy. That's his snitch, man. All right, Thomas, man, I apologize. I just wanted to respond to something right quick. Go ahead for it, bro. What's popping with you, man?
I'm good. So I want to ask you some question and to answer some question also. So for me, this year is a year for nothing. What do you think about that? Because we don't develop our young players who draft like Dodson and Frank, like you said. It's not, a process that we make progress. And Frank, play good today 10 minutes and he don't play in the second half. I don't understand. And Jack is not the future. And at the free agency, Scott Perry, how he will do to make big all-star to come in the Knicks if we have KP injured and we don't play with the young guys. I don't think all-star want to play with Jack and Tim Hardaway starters. What do you think about that?
I think that I think we got to see what happens after the all-star break. I know Frank didn't play. Frank didn't play after only played 10 minutes today. But I think we got to see what happens after the All-Star break and start basing it on that. I think right now, the way it is now, we're not going to get any free agents in 2018. We don't have the money.
We will have an All-Star in the 2018 free agency?
Now, yeah, see, 2019 is the year.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's the year 2019 and 2020. 2018. I mean, first of all, we don't really have much money, and then secondly, players are going to. They want to see what's going to happen with KP. They want to see if KP is going to come back strong, or If,
in your opinion, do you think he will come back stronger?
I think so.
Okay, because in my opinion, a 7-3 who have a torn ACL, he will not come back stronger. He will make a career like Jabari Parker, who has an other leg torn ACL. You can't give him a max contract. For me, KP is the second best option of the league. If he will come back stronger, we can have a stronger free agency 2019, like you said.
Yeah, I think because KP is young. KP is he's 22 years old. I think that KP will his body will respond, right? And I think if they take the right approach, building those muscles. And there's no reason, there's no need for him to come back early. He needs to take as much time as he needs. Build the muscles around his knees. Right?
Take your time.
KP is not, he obviously hasn't filled into his body yet. You know, he's a young guy. He hasn't filled into his body. So he has a lot of growing to go. You know, and so I think that he has the ability, and he doesn't have the kind of body like you see some guys that are that tall, like Sean Bradley. You can tell they wasn't going to last. They were never going to have a strong core because he's, you know, super skinny. Right? KP,
but in the future, do you think he will be a 5? For me, he will be a 5 in the future.
I think that KB wants to be a 4. He wants to be a 4. In the future, when you're talking, you know, he's, you know, 35 years old, 33 to 35 years old, KP will probably be a 5. But I think up until then, he's going to play the 4 spot. That's the spot that he wants to play. He wants to be in that 4 position. But I think he can come back stronger. And if he builds that his lower body strength, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. You know, hopefully he can move the same. I mean, Amari Stoudemire came back. He had knee problems, though. That was the thing. He had knee problems later in the year. But Amari Stoudemire came back, and he was still a beast.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He was still a beast.
So in the future, you think we need draft a prospect like Miles Bridges for the free, you know, small forward and center in the future? In the 2019 also draft, 2020?
I think we need to try to find a guy that's going to be KP's wingman. Or if you get a guy that, you know, I'm not going to say they have to be KP's wingman. Whichever one develops to be the man on the team is the guy who develops to be the man on the team. You know what I'm saying? Or if there's even a man on the team. You know, you need somebody to play with KP. Let's just put it that way. And then, I think you need a shot blocking defensive center. And we need athletes. We need athletes. We got to get athletes, guys that can get up and down the floor, guys that can jump, dunk, move their feet on defense, are active, you know, are aggressive. We need guys like that.
So if we have Frank as a starter point guard, Moody as a shooting guard, Bridges at the small forward, KP, and another 5. You think it will be good for the future? Because I'm scared that next year and the year after it's the same year as this year. You know, no big year for the Knicks.
Yeah, it could. I mean, that could be a good lineup. It could be.
You know, because, like you said, we need better scout. You know, I think if you and me have been, you know, scout for the Knicks, we draft better Knicks player, you know.
we might. We might.
Because like you said, you know, in Europe, I don't know if you know, but there is no Knicks scout.
No Knicks scouts.
In Europe, no Knicks scouts.
No Knicks scouts.
Yes,
so
sir.
we send guys there, but no Knicks scouts.
For Frank, there is a special guy for only 9 months.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know, it's not like you see, you know, Frank for many years. Like Spurs have 20 scouts in Europe, you know, for each country, you know, to see players 15 years old to 19 years old before the draft, you know.
Right. Yeah,
so like you said, it's a you know, Steve Mills needs to be fired, Jeff Hornacek needs to be fired. You have to develop the young players, you know, and make, you know, athlete roster, you know, like you said.
Yeah. Well, hey, Thomas, I thank you for the call, man. We got some other people calling in, so I'm gonna move on. All right. Appreciate it, man. Stay easy over there. I know it's early in the morning for you, so get some rest.
6 a.m. and I will work in 1 hour.
Yeah, man. All right.
Shout out to the chat. Peace
out, bro. Yeah, man. So KP's timeline. We got a lot of work to do between now and then. A lot of work. A lot of things we got to do between now and then to try to get try to get the team ready for KP. You know what I'm saying? Try to get We want KP to come back and feel like we've done something if he's supposed to be our guy. You know what I'm saying? And we got to start to develop. We got to put the pieces around him. We got to try to put the pieces around him. So we need to have a strategy on how we want to build around him. You know, and, you know, we look and see who we got in the draft and start putting those pieces around him and that other player. You know, that's what we have to do. That's what we got to do. So I got my man Daniel on the line. Daniel, what's popping, bro?
What's popping? Shout out to the chat. Yo, I'm gonna get straight at it. We need to get we need to get rid of Hardaway. We got to get rid of him.
We got to get rid of him. Gone.
He's gone. You know, I thought tonight was, you know, like a previous caller said, I thought tonight was really good, a good way to showcase him. That was a good way to put him on the market. You know what I'm saying? But he has to go.
Tell me why.
How, Sway? How? This man can't play defense for his life. I'm looking, yo, he literally walks like I see so many times when he plays defense, it's like he literally walks to, you know, the opposing player that he's defending. He can't play defense to save his life. He just can't. I want him gone. I think as soon as they traded for Moutier, that was a sign of me showing, okay, Hardaway's gone. You know what I'm saying? And what you want from your players today, like one of your callers said, you want your players to be consistent. You don't know what you got with Hardaway. You just don't. It just didn't make any sense to me.
Right.
And I want you to know it's another thing. I knew, you know, it was so funny when he was scoring all those points. I was like, I wasn't even like excited. I'm like, oh, the Knicks are gonna blow this. I said, if they don't keep Frank and Moutier out there, they're gonna blow that lead, because obviously, I don't know if you pay attention. Whenever they on the floor, the defense is so much better. But whenever they take those two out, it doesn't work, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's what Jeff Hornacek did tonight, and that's why we lost.
Yeah, I mean, I got no qualms with you, man. I got no qualms with you. You know, Tim Hardaway is a streaky player.
He's got to go.
He's a streaky guy. And he's, you know, we've been talking about he's streaky, got a bad attitude.
Yeah.
You know, but tell me what you think. What do we need to do? So you think that's part of the puzzle?
That's definitely part of the puzzle. There's no ifs and buts. You got Dotson. I really think, because with Dotson, and here's the thing about Tim Hardaway that really pisses me off. Tim Hardaway, you know, he's playing good, and then when he thinks he's hot, he thinks he's Curry. Like, who the hell do you think you are, bro? Like, why are you shooting a contested shot? It was crazy because literally after he scored like the 32 points, he shot a very dumb shot, like literally right afterwards. Mm-hmm. You know? And I'm saying, look at this.
Bricked off the side of the backboard.
Yeah, I'm like, look at this fool. I'm like, why are you shooting? I'm like, when you got to think about it, see, when you're a hot player, like when you're on fire, mm-hmm. you should use that to your advantage to help get your other teammates inside the game. That's what LeBron James does. That's what a lot of star players do. What they do is, oh, you can't guard me, so now you don't know what the hell is going on. You don't know what type of defense to shift towards the player who's hot, and now other teammates are wide open. I've seen it, you know, through that whole time. The whole team, now, okay, they shift the defense to focus on Hardaway. Mm-hmm. Now Hardaway is getting locked up. Oh, I'm Kobe. I'm still going to shoot the shot. No, you're not Kobe. You know?
You're right.
And even when your star player is taking shots like that, you still say to yourself, you want to get the highest percentage shot possible. You know? Mm-hmm. So that's how I looked at it. I was like, just a good way to market him. You know, that's what the Knicks need to do. The Knicks need to market him. And what the Knicks could really do, because how you really get a player out, how you really get them out, is you lower their role. If the Knicks make Hardaway, if the Knicks say to Hardaway, okay, for the future, we want you to be our sixth man, and he has a problem with that, then you know he's going to want to go. He's going to want to request to leave, and then he's going to be looking to get his ass.
But you know, he'll want to go. He might want to go, maybe. But
trust me,
then other teams are going to say, well, if he's not good enough to be a starter on your team, that's not good. What makes you think we want to pay $17 million for him to come over? No, but what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. If a team says he's not good enough to be a starter on your team, what makes you think we want to pay him $17 million a year to come off the bench? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you have him around the right pieces, you never know what that may do.
But I mean, there are other players. Let's say this. Let's see what happens next year, because they're not gonna trade him. He's playing like this now. They're probably, if they wanted to trade him, they're not going to be able to trade him by the draft, because this is going to go right into the draft, and his stock is going to be low.
But you see what you could do with Hardaway, with a player like what you could do with Hardaway. You could always put him in a package deal. You can always do that.
Maybe you can put him in a package deal. He has to be, he has to be someone that other teams covet as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, as Knicks fans, what we do a lot is we say, well, we got to trade this player. Let's go get this player, without thinking that the other team is going to want something in return. He's got to be somebody that other teams covet. You know what I mean? And what you do is you get him when Hardaway, like earlier in the season, when Hardaway was hot and he was playing really good.
Yeah, that's a good way to trade him.
That's when you if you you know what?
Make a move.
Yeah, let's make a move, because this guy, we know him, and we know he's not going to be consistent. Let's make a move now.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do it.
One thing the organization should not do, what I look at with a lot of organizations, here's what they mess up. They talk. You never want to talk bad on any of the players you have.
Right.
That's what happened. You see with Isaiah Thomas. We all know Isaiah Thomas, he's not a bad player. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Thomas, he led a team a year ago. Mm-hmm. But you see Cleveland, the way they personified Isaiah Thomas, it makes Isaiah Thomas look, in the offseason, for him to get that contract, it makes him look really bad. So, I mean, if the Knicks say to Hardaway, we like you, but we want to make you a six-man because you would help our team better that way, then, I mean, teams can't complain about that, because that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
they can't complain about it, but another team, especially a team that's better, they're going to look and they're going to say, if he's only a six-man on your team, you want to trade him to us.
Smith. The way I look at it is that the Knicks, even with Hardaway or without Hardaway, we won't really need him.
Right, but J.R. Smith, when we traded J.R. Smith, he was making like less, like $10 million or less. He wasn't making $17 million.
He was making still pretty 12, 13 million, something like that. No,
not at that time. He was making less than that. Yeah, he was making less than that when we traded.
But you see, before the Knicks even signed Hardaway, I don't know if you noticed, a lot of teams actually were wanting to get him. He was,
right.
The Knicks were not the only one.
No, they did. There were teams. He had teams that wanted to get him, but they wasn't going to pay $17 million a year for him. The Knicks wanted him, so they paid, because he was a restricted free agent. So that meant that Atlanta could match any contract. So in order for the Knicks to get him, they had to give him a contract that they knew Atlanta was not going to match. That's the reason why he ended up getting so much.
And that was the Steve Mills. That was the whole Steve Mills.
That was Steve Mills. Steve Mills.
And Perry.
Steve Mills. Without instead of waiting.
Yep.
Instead of waiting.
Patiently.
Instead of waiting. You know what I'm saying?
Because who knew? Steve, I mean, if we had Mills at the time, he could have made a move to get a small forward instead.
I mean, who knows? Mills, I think, is smart. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what he would have did? Who knows? But hey, Daniel, I'm gonna let you rock, man, because I want to get into this next. Talk about some draft prospects.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate the call, bro.
No
appreciate
problem.
you for being patient while I was talking as well.
Yes.
All right, man. Peace out, brother.
Peace.
Yeah, Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway could end up being a problem for us, but let's hope not. Let's hope that maybe things work out. Let's see what happens. Oh, he did his little bipolar thing tonight. Played crazy the first half, and then, played terrible the second half. Let's see if, maybe, over the All-Star break, he can kind of get his thoughts together. A good break from basketball, maybe help him reset, and then he comes back and plays well, and then see what happens from there. All right, but let's talk about our draft position and look at some prospects. We're still 9th. Lost 8 in a row. Now, people are talking about moving up. I'm going to tell you something. It's not going to be as easy as you think. You guys, everyone thinks just because we lose, we're going to move up. I don't know, man. I mean, look at Brooklyn. They've lost 7 in a row. Memphis has lost 7 in a row. Orlando, they've lost 3 in a row. Phoenix lost 7 in a row. Other teams, they're losing too. They're losing. But could it happen? Of course it could happen. But we can move up. We're only, Phoenix won 18 games. We've won 23. We'll see what happens there. Will these teams win 5 more games? Probably not. I'm looking at us. We're probably going to stay around this same position around here. But who knows what can happen. The next team that's got to fall below us is Chicago. They lost tonight. You know what I'm saying? They lost. They're 2-8 in their last 10. So this is where we look. This is what we look at. This is what we're looking at right now. Right here. And when we look at this mock draft, we looked at this the other day. These people are saying Wendell Carter. I don't know. I don't think we take a power forward. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they're saying Wendell Carter, but I don't think we take a power forward. So the other day we looked at Wendell Carter, kind of see who he is. We looked at Miles Bridges. Let's take a look here. Mikal Bridges. Let's take a look. Junior, I like that. All right. Bless, you say we will move up once we play those teams head to head. We'll see. Maybe. I mean that's chance, but there's only one game for each team. If I don't know how many of them guys we play coming up. But Mikal Bridges, Villanova, he's a junior. Shooting guard / small forward, 6'7", got a 7'1" wingspan. Think about this. He's got a 7'1" wingspan. Frank Ntilikina, a couple inches shorter with a 7'3" wingspan. Crazy. 210 pounds. Right now, he's averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Shoots 40% from 3. 48% field goal percentage. Of course, this is the college 3-point line. Hopefully, he could, bring that out to the, NBA 3-point line. I have no doubts that he can. All right, I've seen him shoot it deep. All right, he got 18, per 36 minutes, it's 18 points per game, 2.5 assists, 6.1 rebounds. So this could be a prospect for us. I know a lot of you guys like him. But he could definitely be a prospect for us. Just a couple of quick, highlights on the kid so you can check him out, see what he's about a little bit. I'm not going to keep it up here too long because, they try to hit me with copyright infringement if I keep it up here for too long. So, you guys can just see a couple of highlights from the guy. He's long, got decent length. He's an athlete. He can get up and down the floor. Of course, he can knock down the 3. Got a couple of post moves. Got a couple of inside post moves. But he's the kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that kind of athlete, kind of guy that we need. He would fill that 3 position nice, and then of course, we get a guy like this come in. What happens to the guys that we already have, like a Hardaway who's playing the 3. Probably Courtney Lee goes to the bench and Hardaway moves to the 2, which gives us a little bit more length. Which is that's what we need. That's what we want. We want more length. I don't like playing small at any position. I like length. what I'm saying? I like the length. You know, yeah, I think the Prince Bun, you said, does he have a high ceiling? He's a junior. You know, I think that he has a decent ceiling. You know what I'm saying? He can continue to build. He's 21 years old right now. He'll get drafted. Once he gets drafted, he'll turn 22 in August. So, you know, he's a little bit older, but it could mean that he's coming in a little bit more ready. And then, you know, we'll have to judge what the ceiling will be. We'll have to judge and see what the ceiling will be. You know, but, you know, looking at our draft position, though, you know, he could be a guy. So let me ask you guys this. Based on where we are as a team, when we're drafting, would you rather draft a guy that's a little more NBA ready or a guy that's really, really young but maybe has a lot of upside? See, that's a tough position to be in, you know, because, you know, the guys that are really, really young and has a lot of upside is what we did with Frank. You know, you're always nervous about whether or not they'll be able to reach their full potential. You know, when you got a guy like Bridges, you know, who's a junior, who would be a junior coming into the league, 22 years old, you know, you kind of know what he is, and, you know, he's a little more experienced, he's a little more mature, body is a little stronger, can handle the NBA game a little bit better. You know, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. The principal, you say Knox with upside. Oh, you say Knox has upside. Rador, you say young with upside. We won't be ready to compete until 2020. I agree with that. You know, but it's still it's still something to think about, because what if you get young with upside, but then they never reach their potential? I guess you could say that about any player that comes into the league, though. You know, the draft is always a crapshoot. You know what I'm saying? So you could say that about any player coming into the league. You know, so yeah, I get what you're saying. Young with upside. That's what a lot of people want. They want young with upside. Let's take a look at Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox, freshman from Kentucky. Kentucky is always putting the guys out, man. Kentucky, they're a factory. You know what I'm saying? They're a factory. Hey, Jay, you know, at one point I really wanted to get D'Angelo Russell, just so I can get a Russell Knicks jersey, for real. But Kevin Knox, freshman, small forward, 6'9". I love that he's 6'9". 7-foot wingspan, 206 pounds. He is 18 years old. He will turn 19 in August. Young, really young. Real young. Right now he's averaging 15 points, 5.6 rebounds a game, 1.6 assists, 34% from three. We need, you know, and that's from the college 3-point line. So, you know, we would definitely need to you know, he's gonna have to work on that NBA 3-point game. You know, per 36 minutes, 16.5 points. You know, close to the same per 36 minutes, because he's already playing 32.8 minutes per game. You know, you take a quick look at him. All right, you know, here he is here. You know, and you see, boom. You see, he's an athlete. You know what I'm saying? That's what we definitely want, what we definitely need. We need athletes out here on the team. You know, guys that can take it out and shoot. We want guys that are versatile, play from all different positions. And it looks like he can do it. He can run the break. There he is running the break. He can get up because he's athletic. Shout out to Frankie Vision with the video. Okay. You know, we want guys like this that can run transition. One thing Hardaway can do is run in transition. You know, we want guys that can be able to run with Hardaway. Moutier can run in transition. We want guys that can run with Moutier. Right? See, big guy can handle the ball a little bit. Not a big guy, small forward can handle the ball a little bit. Now I see Someone said, you know, he's too raw. Rohan Davis, you say he's too raw. But isn't that what you want? Don't you want some young guys that we can possibly, some guys that are really young and raw that you can develop? You know, and that goes back to the conversation. That goes back to, you know, do we want the young guys that are raw, or do you want someone who's a little more polished? You know, that's always going to be the conversation. You know, always going to be the conversation. You know, but he is very, very young. Very, very young. Yeah, very young. We take another look at someone else that could be around in our range. You know, we're looking at small forwards. We want small forwards. Or if we can get a defensive big man, maybe we could take a defensive big man. I know some guys want to, you know, take a look at Mo Bamba. Freshman, 7 foot, 7'9" wingspan, 216 pounds. He's 19 years old. He'll turn 20 years old in May. All right, so he's an old freshman. And I'm not sure about the story behind it, but he's an old freshman. Okay. Right now he's averaging 13 points, 10 rebounds a game, 4 blocks a game. Per 36 minutes, 15.8 points, 12.5 rebounds. All right, shooting 54% from the field. You know, a big man like this, sitting back there behind KP, you know, that might be something that you really, really look at. Might be something that you look at. Although we really, really do need wing players, but it might be something that you look at if it's there. You've got to really consider it. You definitely got to consider it. Let's take a look at him. Take a look at him. You see, big guy, athletic. You know, I mean, when you got a guy like this on the floor, you know what I'm saying, running, just imagine him and Moutier running that screen and roll. You know, you get him and Moutier running that screen and roll, that could be devastating for a lot of teams. You know what I'm saying? That could be devastating. Now, I see a lot of people say raw talent is not what we need. My question to that is why? Are you expecting to bring somebody in that's going to, are you expecting to bring someone in? Why? That's what I want to know. Why? You know, why not a raw talent? Why not a raw talent? You know what I'm saying? How do we move forward then? If we're not bringing in raw talent, because sometimes the talent alone is enough to just strike fear in teams and bring a change to what you do on the floor. Sometimes just the talent, you know what I'm saying? Just the talent, just the ability. A guy like Bamba, man, I mean, just the ability for him to that screen and roll, the fear of the screen and roll, the ability to protect the rim, the fear of he can obviously rebound the ball, the ability that he's just gonna, you know, like grab it and just yam it on you at any moment, you know, off of a rebound. You know, that strikes some fear in people. You know, and he'll bring that kind of edge. He's a project. Maybe so. You know what I'm saying? He could be a project. But we're not talking about really being competitive until 2020. You know what I'm saying? 2020. You know what I mean? You know, so you're talking 2 years. You know, he comes on the team 2018. You're talking, we got 2 years to help this guy, you know, develop a little bit, or any other young guy that you get. You know, it's those are questions that's gonna Steve Mills and Scott Perry are going to have to grapple with going into the draft. I seen somebody ask me about Michael Porter Jr. I haven't gone through him yet because we're not up to that draft. We're not in that level of draft yet. When we get up to that level, then I'll look at the possibility. But right now, he's at least going in the top 3 picks. We're way down at 9. We'd have to fight to get into those top 3 picks. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to fight to get in there. So those are some, but we'll take a look at them though. We're gonna go up. We'll take a look at them. I don't want to give out all the cookies right now in one basket, man. But we're gonna take a look at them. I gotta make sure you keep coming back to the show, brother. So I'm about to end. I've been on. It's 12:30, but I do just want to jump into All-Star Weekend real quick before we go. Tonight was the Knicks' last game until All-Star Weekend. And right now, we only have Frank, who's going to be participating from the Knicks. Since KP is hurt, Frank is going to be participating in All-Star Weekend on the world team. So I'll definitely be watching the game, and I'm going to come on after the game. All right, I'm going to come on after the game. Wherever I am, even if I'm not home, I'll jump on and even talk for 10 minutes or whatever. I want to see what Frank did, what he does. How do you all think he's going to perform? I'm very anxious to see how he's going to perform. I'm hoping that he performs really well. I'm not saying he's got to win MVP. I just want to see him perform well because now he's playing with people that are his age. And a game that's going to be, of course, up and down. I want to see him do well. I want to know why Joel Embiid is in this, though. I know he was injured and everything, but geez, he got drafted in 2014, man. El Hunter, you said Frank is going to embarrass us? I don't know. I don't think so. We'll see. Frank's going to get 10 minutes in the All-Star game, too. I think he'll be all right. Get out there playing with some guys his age. I think he'll be cool. We'll see what he does. We'll see what happens. But why is Joel Embiid playing for the world team? This is supposed to be for freshmen or first or second year players. I guess because of his injuries, he's considered a second year player then? I mean, geez, come on, man. He been in the league. He got drafted in 2014. Drafted in 2014. Shoot, that man is like 23, 24 years old right now. And he's, down here, going to try to go out here and win MVP of the, rookie game or whatever. Get out of here with that. But looking forward to All-Star Weekend. It should be fun. We should be we should have a good time on All-Star Weekend. Let's see what else we got up here. Let's take this back a little bit. Who you guys got winning the you guys got winning this 3-point contest? Yeah, Embiid, the super senior. Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. All-Star Saturday night. What you guys got going on All-Star Saturday night? Of course, KP is not in the skills challenge. Who you got taking the skills challenge? You got Joel Embiid, Buddy Hield, Lou Williams, Andre Drummond, Al Horford, Lauri Markkanen, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Jamal Murray. Who you got taking it? I don't know. I'm not, but who you got taking it? That's a good one. We'll see. 3-point contest. We got Eric Gordon, Devin Booker, Klay Thompson, Bradley Beal, Wayne Ellington, Kyle Lowry, Tobias Harris, and Paul George. So who we got taking the 3-point contest? I see somebody say Paul George. I don't know. Maybe Klay. All them guys can shoot, man. Wayne Ellington. I think I'm gonna go with Wayne. Wayne can knock it out. Wayne can shoot. You know what I'm saying? Wayne can shoot. Then, of course, the slam dunk contest, we got Victor Oladipo, Donovan Mitchell, Larry Nance Jr., and Dennis Smith Jr. That's going to be a good one. I think I'm going with Dennis Smith Jr. on that one. I think Dennis Smith Jr. got some flair to him. You know, Larry Nance Jr. is good. It's real tall. You know, tall guys, sometimes it's hard for them to win. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm going with Dennis Smith Jr. on this one. I might even be rooting for him. Yeah. So here we go. That's All-Star weekend. You say Lou Williams got the skills. Big men been winning it, man. We'll see. Big men been winning it. Somebody said Eric Gordon got the 3-point contest. Could. Eric Gordon, he could. He could shoot. He can knock it out. He can knock it out. Wayne Ellington. I mean, you know the Knicks had Wayne Ellington at one point, right? Yeah, the Knicks had Wayne Ellington. When we traded and we got Lance Thomas, I think Wayne Ellington came with Lance Thomas, but then we waived him. But he could shoot. The guy could knock it out. He can definitely shoot. Maybe the stage would be too big for him. I don't know. You know, but I think he's going to put up some comp in that. He'll put some competition up there. Yep. But guys, I'm about to get out of here. It's been really real. You know, I'll definitely, you know, I'll have some videos up over this break. Get on after the you know, after the rookie game, I'm gonna get on, you know, and you know, talk about how Frank did. You know what I'm saying? So peace, y'all. Have a good night. Still can't believe Knicks blew a 27-point lead. No matter what it is, man. Still can't believe they did it. How?
How, Sway?
Huh? How?
How, Sway? How, Sway? How, Sway?
I don't get it.
How, Sway?
You blow a 27-point lead.
How, Sway?
You have 32 points in the first half.
How, Sway?
Then you have 5 points in the second half.
How, Sway? How, Sway? How, Sway?
I'm out, y'all. If you like this video, subscribe, ring the bell. You get a notification anytime that I go live. Check out these videos over here. You'll be able to stay updated with the New York Knicks. Peace.